So this is my progress report. This is so basically since 2019, I became an actor that I want to say supporting myself, which is, I live in a very cheap, low rent area, so it's not hard to support yourself here. But
Yeah.
so you probably can't see the jobs I have, but what I do, I track everything. So, for an example, on the left hand side is how many auditions I get per month. And then adjacent to that, I have like, do you book, how many jobs that I book basically. And then if you go across, it's just like how many jobs that I've actually filmed. So it's
Nice.
just a way to keep track and let myself know that hey, you know what, it's working for you. You're doing something. So
Yeah, that's the thing that when we met, and
yeah,
just for the sake of educating the audience on the backstory, you submitted to something I was casting, which
yep,
didn't work out because the pandemic. But we kept in touch. And
we
one of the
can.
things I noticed about you is, man, you're a hustler.
Well,
You're just
thank you.
working it. And that's the
Yeah,
key that so many people don't get.
it's the
It's
drive.
the people starting out. And that's why we started out with, talking about that, is because
Yeah,
it really just takes doing, no matter what. Just keep going, keep going, keep
it
going.
does.
I mean, I'm 40, you're 46.
Yep.
Neither of us are by far A-list
I'm more like a
celebrities.
C-list.
Yeah.
So they're like, are you
And
a
I'm
B? I'm like,
like a Y-list filmmaker. Like,
I'm just trying. Basically, my job essentially is being a day player.
yeah,
And it's the hardest job in the acting world. And any actors watching this is going to tell you the same thing. You just audition like crazy. You go to for a day role and a day play role, and then you just go to the next job. So you never really get time to settle into a big show, right? As a character, you're always switching sides. Book the role if you're fortunate. Next job. So that's the hardest thing about it. But you just can't, like I said, you know what? I get 4 auditions in one day. You just do them that day if you can, because the next day, the same thing. You just
yeah.
keep hustling. You never let it get behind, basically.
How fast are you? So let's say you get a request for a videotape
Yeah.
or a self tape. How fast are you turning that around whenever you're getting a
I mean,
request?
this is going to sound crazy, but I do it within 24 hours because I'm
Nice.
fortunate. My wife is the reader, right? A lot of guys, a lot of girls don't have like readers on the other side. They have to call in. It's very difficult, or go to someone that's $20 for an hour to read with them, basically, and videotape it. So, yeah, fortunately, I have that. So I do my best because this is all I do. So 24 hours, get it in. I'm fortunate enough to have a couple agents, and that was one of my appeal is I don't have another job. This is okay. So this guy's not going to be working somewhere else. He can at least get his audition in fast enough, and if he books it, he can go hit it and get the
Yeah.
jobs.
Do you think that that's part of why you work?
I think
Like,
so. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm the most talented guy out there at all, but I'm saying it's just the availability,
yeah.
and that's luck, right? Because I live in a certain area that's cheap, and my wife's a classical pianist, and it all works out. She's the artistic
Let me tell
director.
you,
You
one
know,
thing I've realized is talent has very little to do with success.
no,
It's
it's private.
availability and
Yep.
having the luck of being in the right place at the right time among the right
Yep.
people.
Yeah. Sure.
What you just said though reminded me of this Night Court episode. Do you remember that show, Night Court? I
Oh
feel like
yeah.
you're old enough
Yeah.
to remember
And
Night
dancing.
Court.
Well, believe me, I got the gray hair here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
somebody had asked the judge, and I might be misremembering this. I haven't watched it since I was a
Yeah.
kid, but I remember somebody asking the judge, "How on earth did a goofball like him become a judge?"
Oh man, I
And
ask
he
myself that
said
every day.
that the call came in on a Sunday. All of the previous all of the candidates they would have preferred were in the Hamptons or wherever,
Yep.
and he answered the phone. It was as simple as he was there to answer the phone. That's how he got the job, and that's all. The impression I'm getting from you is,
Yeah.
if you're there to answer the phone, you're more likely to get the job.
There's no question because that's a lot of it. It's like that's the number one thing as an agent. They're working hard. They're hustling to get the right clients submitted, their packages, and all of a sudden, I booked a job. They're like, oh, I'll do the audition, but you're not available to do it, right? So it's a lot of that. And what's funny is I have another agent in the Midwest, and it's for a commercial coming out soon. It's for a lottery commercial, and I wasn't the number one choice. I was runner up. So I got found out. This is a couple weeks ago. And so the guy that had booked the role couldn't do it for some reason. I don't know what it was. And then they called me on a Monday. I'm watching Monday Night Football. And I'm like, hey, can you be here on Tuesday for a fitting? Because this happened. I'm like, sure. And that's it. I mean, but obviously, you know what? Not everybody can do that and they have a regular job. But I mean, that opens the doors for me to be able to just do whatever I want to do in that business, to always be there, always be available. And that's, like you said, that's a lot of it.